Okay, guys, let's get the community meeting started. It's going to be our community meeting for the 8th of October 2019. The purpose of this meeting today is to discuss a couple things relating to the community, especially since we've gone whitelisted, and that's to discuss the future of whitelist, our community as a whole, the quality of roleplay, amongst other things, which I will get into later. Starting, first of all, with being whitelisted, we'll go ahead and use general chat for we'll go ahead and use general chat for you guys to reply to me. How do you guys like the whitelist so far compared to being public? You can go ahead and I'll just start typing in general chat. You guys don't like it, some of you? Okay. Yeah, I understand the less obnoxious priorities, but we're gonna go ahead and discuss that too. Alrighty. Okay. um. All right. So now we obviously got that out of the way, and it looks like majority is pro whitelist. Let's go ahead and start discussing kind of the caveat that someone brought up, and that's it's just less obnoxious priorities. The priorities, right? Just the calls on the server. We have a roleplay ideas channel that actually still has a lot of good roleplay ideas, right? Passive RP, on the way to the hospital, doing different things, right? Get together with people, do things like later on today. I'm going to do an RP where I'm uh, where I'm gonna stage kind of like a home invasion, and then so essentially I'm gonna be in my house, right, and um, I'm gonna have somebody invade my house and call the police, and then just give a report because the person's gonna be gone. Like start doing more role plays like that. Like there were a lot of houses and properties added, so that you could do that, enterable properties and things like that. So, um, we need to make things more passive, because there's a lot of things going on that just make it feel like we're on a public server. Um, so, like I said, just, make things passive. Stay passive. Not everything has to end in shots fired. Not everything has to end in somebody going to jail. Get together with some of your friends. Open the 24/7, and then have your friend park his car there and say there's a suspicious guy sitting in his car, and then we come and we find out he's just chilling. And he's just asking why he's on the property. Um, like in there's illegal fishing. We have DNR. Go up in the mountains and hunt and call 911 saying you fell down the mountain and you're hurt, or just go up there and hunt, and maybe DNR will stop you and see if you're illegally hunting, or um, go up there and just hunt, and maybe you'll meet another civ. Be um, be passive, really, because that's all. That's really more of what we need. We need passive roleplay. Um, yeah, exactly. Uh, like Rogers just brought up in the chat. So if you die, call 911. Right? Give EMS something to do. Don't just revive. Yeah, I know passive RP is boring, but it makes it better for everyone. The other day we tried to do a presidential RP, and that didn't go well. We wanted to roleplay a speech, and all we got was 15 people trying to kill the president, which is kind of, obnoxious. Passive RP always says get ruined. So what we're gonna go into next is, since we are a whitelisted community now. Yeah, it did turn into one. Is we're gonna start keeping track of people who do priorities off, people who are just running to run, people who are just being toxic and not role playing. Like, this is not an economy server, right? So we understand that there's not a lot of things to do. But if you guys want things added, there's a suggested chat. Uh, if you go on the 5M forums and you find something, add it in there. And more than likely, if it helps with CivRP, um, I will definitely add it. Um, so, like I'm saying, we're gonna start keeping track of people who are being toxic and getting their whitelist taken off way. Obviously, we have, I think, like 330 or something like that registered community members who are on the whitelist. Because once you have 339. So, um, yeah, exactly. Can there not be 50 bank robberies every 15 minutes? Can we just get regular traffic stops? Can we get people calling about suspicious property? I'm gonna, after today, allow animal RP. So if you guys know the animal spawn codes and you want to go around as a mountain lion and attack somebody, so that somebody can call, obviously if you're not being toxic about it, right? But you want to be a mountain lion and call 911, have someone call 911, about a dangerous animal on the loose. DNR can respond, or the city can respond, and put the animal down. Like, not everything has to be toxic. Does that make sense? Can I get you guys? Yeah, exactly. What Fluffy Native just said too. If you crash your car, actually stay in RP it. And that's another rule we're going to be adding, Thomas and I, when we go over the whitelist rules, is if you get into a motor vehicle accident with another player, you must sit there and you must roleplay it out unless you plan to do felony hit and run. However, if you constantly are doing hit and run, then you're going to be talked to by staff. So from this point forward, all um, all motor vehicle accidents are to be role played out, and not all of them are to end in shootings. Does that make sense? Is that understood? And yes, another thing is, if you guys are not involved in the scene, do not force yourself into the scene. What this means is, a lot of times when I'm on a traffic stop, I will be talking to somebody, and somebody else will just run up to me and start trying to start their own scene. Wait until a police officer is done with their scene um, before you interject or attempt to RP it. Does that make sense? Or did I just kind of go off on a tangent? As we'll get to that next, bud. Sithis, that's like, stuff like that's fine as long as you're not, screaming over the officer like a lot of people do. Actually, yeah. After this, we're gonna probably go statewide. It depends on how many people are on the server. 51. Yeah. After this, we'll definitely be statewide. Guys, also spread out your roleplay. We have state police and DNR. You guys do not need to just be um in the town areas. Go up in the mountains. Go in the here. If you guys are on my stream, I'm going to show you something on the map. Use this area. Use this area between the city and Sandy Shores. Like, this is all area that troopers are in constantly, and we never see anybody using it. make sure you're using this area or this area here. Go off-roading up here. Be realistic about it. Roll over your Jeep and pretend you're injured, and we'll see what we can do about getting troopers and EMS up there. Like, use these big open areas here. They're there and they're part of the map, right? And like, use this down here, right? Go up to Polito in one of the docks right here, like where the boat refueling point is, and take your boat, because we have MSP Water Patrol now, which is you'll see a lot of troopers and stuff on boats. So take your boat from here to take it down to the city, or take it down here and anchor it. I just added a way for you to anchor your boats, which I'll go into how to use later on. In fact, can everyone go to my stream so I can show you guys how to use some of these new roleplay commands as well? Because I want you guys to start using these. I will give you guys a couple minutes to get there. Let me post it. All right, the link's in there. So head there. Guys, these are all things we're getting into, so you guys don't have to, you guys do not have to spam it in there. Yeah, you don't have to ask me. Okay, so I just released a document in the Discord the other day that had a bunch of new commands in it, which is in the announcements somewhere. It's right here. I want the officers to start using these. These are these obviously a lot of you already knew about, but like, there's this now. There's BAC, so you can pretend to be drunk and you can set your BAC. So like, a lot of you already knew about. But obviously that's that command for that, and I would set it to 0.09, for example. My BAC set to 0.09 now. Now, if a police officer came up to me and used this right here, what's my player ID? 0.09, for example. My BAC set to 0.09 now. 59. So, BAC test 50. Yeah, obviously you see 59. This user's BAC is 0.09. So, I'm gonna put the fire script back in once the fire department's off. The next one, inventory, set pet inventory. So, for example, I would set pet in. Let me no clip away. Set pet inventory. There's my inventory now. So my inventory is now that. So, if a police officer was to come up and just show them what I have in my inventory. So this takes away the necessity to. Because obviously, if you have your set inventory, you don't have to type that out every single time. And then clearing your inventory, easy as that, and clearing your BAC, easy as that. Make sense? Okay. I hope that's something you guys enjoy using, and that you will enjoy using, because it will increase the flow of things by tenfold. And obviously, you can do slash set v inventory and stuff like that, and do your vehicle stuff. All the commands are available on this document, which is in the announcements. I was just kind of going over them. Also, this is one that I would love to see people using a lot more. When officers tell you to get on your knees instead of just crouching down, doing slash HUK. It's in announcements. Just look in announcements. It's like just less than a scroll up.
Hey Zach, I have to go.
So those are some of the basic things I wanted to. Now to speak more about police, or I guess not police, but um, we're currently going through a rebuild with our law enforcement division. We're working on a lot of stuff and standardizing a lot of stuff to essentially um, make it more realistic now that we are whitelisted. And then I promise you after this, I have like one more thing to go over, and then we'll take stuff in the chat and talk about it then. Um, we want to make the police more realistic. We want to make the server very realistic now that we're whitelist, and now that we plan to probably stay whitelist more often than not, maybe going off whitelist a couple times a week just to recruit. And they'd be at random, right? We would call a staff meeting, say, hey, these 15, 20 staff members are going to take up these 15 or 20 slots to admin the server in order to um, recruit, because we have 869 Discord members right now. Tonight, if we were to open the server, we would have 1,000 Discord members by tomorrow evening. And so at random, we're going to open the server to the public, obviously just to recruit. Another thing, sorry, I know I said there's one more topic, but I have another one I want to go over before then. All civs who are whitelisted are required to register a civilian character on the CAD and are required to register their vehicles. Obviously, we're not going to require and weapons, yes. We're not going to require, obviously that every vehicle is registered, because if you want to roleplay an unregistered vehicle, that's fine. However, it's tiresome and unrealistic that every time we pull over our vehicle, uh, the civ may be registered, but the vehicle is not. And that's an issue. Also, guys, using default peds is fine. However, we do prefer that you go and set up an MP ped. Yes, we planned here shortly to increase it to 128. And yes, mods, stop kicking for stupid reasons. Excessive speed can be, and the unrealistic driving can be role played out. You can stop them, take them to jail, things like that. You do not need to kick them for that. That is kind of an issue. Now, can we keep the general chat clear for a second? Because I got a question to ask. And before anyone types, please, please hear out my complete and total explanation before you go and start typing in there. There has been ideas floating around the staff team to switch the server to ESX, which is economy. However, please don't type anything yet. Guys, keep it clear. Do not type anything in general chat. It's economy with a twist, and it's still going to remain. So if we were to switch to this economy system, And please, when I'm done, we're gonna put a little voter thing in there. So do not talk. And essentially, the idea is to add a menu in which you can spawn in add-on cars, and you can spawn in anything that's not a supercar, high-end sports car. So you could spawn in, everything that's not like worth more than 50 grand IRL or 40 grand IRL. Uh, and you have to buy anything that's any weapon that's not an AR or a handgun, right? Or like a Glock. So you'd have to buy anything that's more powerful than a Glock, anything that's more powerful than an AR. You have to buy the high-end sports cars and supercars and properties and aircraft. Um, so you could use a company's aircraft, right, to do missions for the company. However, you could not own your own personal aircraft until you buy it. So this would give gangs an opportunity to rise. This would give mafia an opportunity to rise. This would give you an opportunity to, have an inventory of marijuana in your car and get stopped for it. To get stopped, and there's actually a reason to be scared of getting stopped, and there's a reason to RP or to drive around the map to do things because you want to buy a house or because you want to buy a sports car, a supercar, or an aircraft. But everything else would be and clothes. Clothes would be the other thing you'd have to buy, and your cards you'd actually have to pay to repair your cards and things like that, but you would still be able to spawn them in because I know that the grinding for just the city would pay for them. Obviously, your vehicles that you use for your department, it would pay for them, but it would essentially just add jobs, so you could be a delivery driver, things like that. Just give you a reason to. And obviously, you're not going to get $25 per delivery. You're going to get, a couple hundred or a couple like 1,000, right? Because it's going to be um, a very inflated economy, because you're getting your money to do is buy properties, um, fix cars, buy things more powerful than a Glock or an AR, and buy your supercars and sports cars and aircraft and boats and ships. So I'm gonna put a little vote in there, and please use only the two emotes that I put on it, and do not type anything past it until I allow you to.
Zach, real quick, I'm sure people are wondering this. Is it true that your add-on, all the vehicles that you paid for, you'll be able to spawn in?
Yes, those will be added to your vehicle inventory. So, um, basically, Jesus Christ. I mean, guys, it doesn't really change much than what we have right now, You'd still be able to use all the add-on vehicles. Because none of the add-on vehicles in the add-on menu are worth more than 60 grand IRL, except a couple. Because, like I said, the only thing you're using your money for is, I guess, funding games, paying your employees when you start companies, um, buying sports cars, supercars, airplanes, and things like that. I mean, I can go ahead and make like a test, a test server for you guys to try out and see how you like it before we switch to the main server too. Okay, so now that we have kind of like um a vote, and go ahead and open up general chat ideas. Just go ahead, type what you guys think about it. It would just open up a lot more RP. And like I said, uh, all right, guys, stop typing for a sec. Stop typing. Guys, stop typing. Stop typing. Stop typing. That was the idea, Sithis. That's why you'd only have to buy this super high-end sports cars and supercars. And properties, so you could have a house to store your cars at. Alright. Well, I'll make a test server, and you guys can play on it, see how you like it. Alrighty, guys. Does anyone want to say anything? And please, in chat, sure. If you need to say anything, please, in chat, put PTS, and do not spam it more than once. Mariano, restart your Discord and
I was first PTS. Is it good if I go or?
go ahead.
All right. I think it'd be better off just to add the scripts that the economy server uses. I mean, it's not that people don't want to do truckers RP. It's just people like there's not really a trucker RP set, and most people are just doing. I just hope you understand what I mean. We should just get the scripts for it. Honestly, that's just some way you could extract the scripts from the game, and you could go on job. You could go on the job and stuff like that, and get like routes and stuff like that. Without having the econ element in it. That'd be a good idea, and that could promote good RP. And
Alright.
Having actual drugs and stuff like that, that'd be cool. That you could
Alright.
traffic.
Who is next? Devastator. Unmute Devastator. Alright, Devastator.
So what kind of jobs would the economy add?
It would add things like postman, right? You could drive and deliver packages. It would add, transporting. I can't really give you every single job because there's hundreds of them I could add. Like you could be a mechanic, you could be a fast food worker, you could be a food delivery person, you could deliver
What
pizzas.
about like selling marijuana or doing moonshine, like that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, you can do illegal stuff too.
All right, that's
there'd
all.
be gangs, drugs, all that kind of stuff. Okay, Tours, Devastator. Who is next? It's your boy. All right, Mark, go.
Yeah, just like one. Oh, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Yeah, no, like adding a business bureau for jobs, so on and so forth. And one thing I know is with economy servers, based off the ESX, I know that certain stuff you can't pull out for jobs. You have to get them separate because there's ESX and there's another set of files for economy servers.
All right. Okay, who's next? Hello? Who's supposed to be next? I gotta go look. Jack.
Yeah, I just sort of want to reiterate a point that I saw someone put in earlier. It comes off the sort of back of like, if people get shot or something like that. When you're dead, you're fucking dead. If you're knocked out, you're knocked out. Don't start, talking over voice and being like, failed RP, this, that, and the other. Just continue the RP and then deal with it after. Because if you feel that you were wrongly killed or XYZ wrongly knocked out, whatever, then by you shouting that out in chat and screaming it down the mic, then that ruins it for everyone else. So just refrain from that. Let the scenario go ahead, and then at the end of it, put in a report. Because too many people there's so many people that are not using a report function. They're just going straight to OOC or straight into voice, and it's so toxic. Having sort of 5 people screaming at you at once, it's just crap. So people need to start obviously using a report function as well.
Okay. Oh my gosh. There's so many messages I can't keep up. Okay. Cody
Should
R,
be-
I think.
Yeah, it should be Cody.
Yeah, Cody, go ahead. Cody,
Yep.
go ahead.
Okay, personally, I like the idea of eco because if I'm gonna be on,
If you're gonna what? Did you get muted again? Go ahead. Sorry.
okay, personally, I like the idea because if I want to be on duty, I want something legitimate to actually pull somebody over instead of someone just caught baiting in front of me. And also, I was gonna ask you about the gang stuff. So is there gonna be like a full like way that we can recruit somebody, like ask somebody to do like a fist fight out in public or something like that?
Well, yeah, you could do that now, technically,
All right.
but you just can't have 10 people in a gang rolling around together. Like,
Well-
have like 3 or 4 people.
What I meant was like we would have, I guess you could say, like a custom type of thing, like where there's like a certain amount of numbers of gangs implemented into the game, and then just leaders of those gangs people can join or like try out for them, I guess you could say, and it goes along with the economic type of roleplay.
All right. I get what you're saying. I think, but that's something that we'll discuss later on. I'm gonna get a test server up, and then I'll take suggestions after that.
Okay.
All right. I think Kai was next. No. FMJ. Go ahead,
Alright.
FMJ.
I get you want to add realism, like things to work for in this, but like I don't want it to turn to like an actual GTA Online where you're grinding for money, like then
It
for
wouldn't be
hours.
grinding. It would be overinflated, and like I said, the only things you would pay for things that are unnecessary, but that some people might want, like properties and civ cars or super.
Alright, because I was like, I didn't want to like grind for hours just to get a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. No, you'd still be able to spawn in any car that's not a super or high end sports.
Alright, thank
So
you.
anything that's more like important, or any like sports car or muscle car that's more powerful than a Charger or a Challenger, you would have to actually buy.
Okay, and then I have another question, if that's alright.
What's up?
What about the cars we already have like saved and all that?
Oh, V menu would get taken out and it would be replaced with a different menu to spawn the cars in.
Oh, alright, thank you.
And then Kai, I think, was next. Go ahead, Kai.
What about roadside assistance and then more active staff?
Roadside assistance. So I'm actually working on getting public services vehicles added, like plow trucks and roadside assistance and construction vehicles. So those will probably actually be in either
Alright.
tonight or tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, and then what about the more active staff? Like sometimes I get on late or sometimes I get on early and it don't really be any staff members on and everybody is about.
We are
so,
in
like,
the process of recruiting staff to. We've started actually getting officers for overnight. So now we're starting to work on getting staff for overnight.
Alright.
Alrighty. Who's next?
Should be Carlos G.
Carlos G. Where? Oh. Alright, go ahead, Carlos.
I got a couple things. First off, what about the vehicles? Where would they be stored? Would garages be
In garages, yes.
Okay.
It'd be a garage. It wouldn't be a physical garage. You'd go up, hit E, and then spawn the car you want.
All right. Secondly, gas. I'm guessing you would have to pay for.
Yes. So it'd just be
And-
like the microtransactions that are added, essentially, other on top of buying unnecessary things, essentially.
All right, and you mentioned.
And then we would allow you to probably upgrade your cars with the turbo and stuff, but that would cost money as well, because you shouldn't be doing that right now, anyways.
Okay. But you mentioned overinflation with it. So, how easy will it be to earn money and then purchase items?
You should be able to get a low to mid range supercar or sports car in less than 2 hours. The way it'll be so.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
Should be Clay next.
Clay. Do Clay. Who's Clay? I don't even see Clay in there.
Hey, so I don't want to. What I have to say is I'll just kind of make it brief. Economy, I think, is personally a really great way to stop a lot of RDM, BDM. You get a lot of people on public servers. They jump in, they kill everyone, shoot everyone. One way, just a suggestion, one way I've seen on a bunch of other servers, which actually works to try to keep that down, where people just come in and troll and shoot, and, they don't have mics, or just start to kill people, mess up RPs. Making it to where people can't spawn in a gun right in the beginning. Like, I can't load in, immediately spawn in a gun. Instead, they have to use your money to buy a gun license before you can even actually get a gun, and you have to go to the weapon store. You have to buy your license, and then you can purchase guns instead of being able to just spawn them right off the bat and go RDM and mess up a lot of role plays. I think that would just stop a lot of the random shootings and trolls and those kind of situations.
I agree. Okay, so who's next?
Jay.
Unmute him. Go ahead, Jay. I think he was unmuted. I don't know. Hold on. Where's he at?
I don't see him actually.
Okay, so he probably left. I could be up for late night staffing. All right, talk to John F. or Thomas or somebody. I don't know. I think it's like. Yeah,
Looks like Wilbur.
John F. and Thomas M. and Brandon and Payne and Miller are the guys. Those guys are the ones you want to talk to if you want to become. Who's next?
Zach. I'm hosting a training in like 5 minutes. Can I break off and go prepare for that?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you using the main server, or do you want me to put up a training server?
It's fine. We'll use a main server.
All right. How many people are attending? Never mind. Go ahead.
You come in, Parrot.
Alrighty. Who's next?
I think Trooper Wilburn.
He said he isn't the PCI. I think that's it then. Oh, Ezio. Go ahead, Ezio. Oh wait, hold on. I almost blocked him. Server mute. There you go. Ezio, go ahead. Ezio.
I can't unserver mute him.
Ezio. Ezio, you there? You're unmuted now.
Oh, sorry about that. Are we going to do anything about how excessive the speeds begin to go during any pursuit in general?
Yes, also, that's another thing. Pursuits with civilians should not exceed 120 miles an hour, and that's for both about 120 to 130. So if you are being pursued and you go above that, we will have staff talk to you after the scenarios. Anything else?
One thing I wanted to add about pursuits is we need to stop trying to override everybody in a pursuit.
That's for an LEO meeting. That's not for here.
I know. I just wanted to get that out there.
Alrighty. Alright. So if there's no one else that has to say anything, we're gonna go ahead and we hope to see you guys on the server. Alrighty.